So to explain you the LODs expressions, I'm going to use Global Superstore dataset. – 2016. From there, I'm going to drag in the orders sheet. So here you can see the records. I think we have used this data set in our class also. So you are familiar with the fields of this data set. So it has got country, state, city, the hierarchy. Then we have the regions also. Then we have the category, subcategory, product name. This is another hierarchy. And we have some measures like sales, quantity, discount, profit. So this is the data set which has a data of all the continents. So let's start a visualization. So in this, we will be learning how we can perform, how we can carry out LOD expressions, which are of three types: include, exclude, and fixed. Okay, why do we need that? The need for that is uh, whenever we are working with multiple dimensions, let's consider that we have the country, state, and city. Now, suppose in the visualization, I only want to keep country and state. Suppose I want to draw a map like this, where I'm dragging in the country, and we are also including state over there. And I'm making it a filled map. And I'm going to add country in color. So here you can see if I want to check for a particular state, like what are the total sales in a particular state, but I do not want to compute the sales using state. I want to compute the sales of the state using another dimension, which is city, and I want to bring that over the state. So for that, I'm going to put country in the filters, because there are a lot of countries. So here I'm going to select Australia. Okay, so just a minute. So this is a country. Here I can put the state in color. Right? Yeah. But what I want to do is, instead of computing the sum of sales according to state, or maybe the average, suppose I compute the average from here. I want to first compute the average sales, sum of sales according to city, and then I want to bring that over the state. Means the aggregation that I want to perform will be on other dimension, and I want to display it on state. That I cannot do it. If I want to compute the sum of sales according to city, and then I want to compute the average, then what I have to do is I have to bring the city in detail as well, right? Then I cannot bring that over the state here using the basic operations. If we use drill down options like this, right? For that, we can perform the level of detail expressions. So let's first understand the include expression. For that, I'm going to uh, select another sheet. So here first I'm going to drag in the country in rows. We've got all the countries. Then I'm going to drag in the state and city. So here you can see according to country, then further we have states, cities. And then suppose I want to compute the average sales. So here you can see in this case, what we have got is we have got average sales in city of a particular state in Afghanistan. So in this case, what has happened is average sales is calculated wherever we have records for this particular city. Okay, but how do we want to compute is I want to first calculate the sum of city and then I want to bring that over the state. I want to bring that over the state and I do not want city to be participating in my visualization. Okay, are you getting this? So I do not want city to be in the visualization because I want to compute the sum of sales, first calculate the sum of sales according to the city and then calculating the average. And then I want to display that. Instead, I do not want to include the city in that. Okay, because the aggregation that I want to perform is on another dimension and I want to display that on other dimension. For that, we will write include expression. From here, you can add a calculated field. Here I'm going to write include city. And LOD expressions always start with the curly brackets. So the keyword include, then what do we want to include? I want to include city, then colon, then the expression, which is sum of sales. So this is the expression we have got, include city sum of sales. So what will happen is whatever aggregation will be performed on this visualization, sum of sales will first be calculated, in which we will be including city additionally to the dimensions which are present in the visualization. Means if I have country, state, I do not have city, then city will always be included in the aggregation and sum of sales will be calculated according to city. Okay, means whatever sales are in Herat, the sum will be calculated. For Kabul, sum will be calculated in this according to this expression, no matter city is participating in the view or not. If we just have the country, then also if we just have the country, then also the sum of sales will be calculated according to city. So this will be the additional dimension in the aggregation always. So let's apply this and okay. And now I'm going to bring this here. And now you can see this is the average sales according to the, okay, this is the sum. Let's change this to average. So here I've converted this to average. Now here, what's the difference? The difference is that in this, the average is calculated according to the city, like for the Herat, whatever is the records, the average is calculated. But here the difference is first, for the cities, the sales is summed up. Okay, for Herat, all the sales are summed. For Kabul, all, then average is calculated. This is what we wanted. And also, if I do not want to include city in my visualization, I do not want city. participating in the visualize. I simply want to have a look on the countries and states. But in this case, this expression is still calculating according to the city. Here, how this happened is, first sum of sales for cities were calculated and then average was taken. But in this case, city is not considered, which is a regular average sales expression. In this case, city is not considered. This is just average sales of state. You can check the data set here. Wherever we have like a particular state, just say you can see it, states, 2 minute. So here in the state, but actually all the records are jumbled. So in this case, wherever we have that particular state, all the sales will be summed up for that. And then we will get this number. So this is the power of using include expression. Please write in the chat box if this is clear to you. Okay, right. It's clear. Good. Good. Okay. So next is fixed expression. I want to explain you fixed over here only. Now, in case of fixed, we just mention the dimension that we want to use in our aggregation. Fixed means in that case, if I want to calculate the aggregation according to a particular dimension like city, I have to include that. And the hierarchy of the dimension, like if I have to include, if I want to fix city, then I have to include the hierarchy as well, which is country, state, and the city in order to get my answers correct. Okay, so let's try to get the same. Like here, what we have done is we have calculated the sum of sales for city and then calculated average of that. Let's try to achieve the same using fixed expression. So for that, first I'm going to create a calculated field. Here we are going to fix the city. Again, writing LOD expressions starts with the curly bracket. Please mute your mic. And then here I'm going to write city. But here what will happen is I have to write the hierarchy, which is the country, because which city I'm talking about, that has to be in a particular country. In that, it is a state, and then we have the city. And whenever you're writing multiple dimensions, you must include the commas. And then colon, we want to calculate the sum of sales. Means what happens is, include expression only requires the additional dimension written in the calculation. But fixed is bit time consuming. In fixed expression, you have to write the hierarchy. If I just want to include, if I just want to fix city, I have to write all the other dimensions which are in the upper level of the city, which is state, then the upper one is country. We have to include all that in order to get the answer correct. Here I'm going to calculate the sum of sales and then apply this and okay. Now let's drag in the fixed. Please do not write here. I'll be sharing this video with your friends. Fine. So here we have got the another column, which is fixed expression city. Okay, so fixed is also giving us the same result as that of include. Here also what we have done is we have fixed city. Now city is not here, city is not in the visualization. Okay, so fixed. So what happens is, in this case you can see the difference. Now I have removed the state. I have removed the state and the expressions have changed. Why this has done is, but because in case of include, how it works is, include is just having the country plus the city. In this case, what has happened is the calculation is performed by considering all the cities in Afghanistan, summing those cities up, and then calculating the average. But in this case, what has happened is, in this case, the city is simply fixed. The hierarchy of dimensions that we have included in the fixed expression are, are in this expression. But include changes dynamically according to the view. Here we have the countries. So for the countries, all the cities are summed up and then average is calculated. Here I'm changing this to average now. Okay, so that was the difference. In case of fixed, country, state and city is fixed, but in case of include, this changes dynamically according to the dimensions that we have. Okay, now so let's what I said is, the meaning of that is, here I am including state. Okay, add all the members, right? And now you can check out the region. Just a minute. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select the category and put in the columns. Okay. So here what has happened is, here I've got, we have three kinds of categories: furniture, office supplies and technology. Here you can see we have got the average include expression changing as per the view. This is what I said. Whatever we are including, in the way, our view, include expression dynamically changes. So this expression has customized itself according to the view. Now I have the country, state and category as well. So this value 902 is the average sales in Hirat. In all the cities, we have summed up the sales in all the cities of Hirat state, okay, in this country. And for that, for furniture, for this particular category, for furniture it has got 902, for office supplies it's got 447 and so on. But the fixed expression does not change according to the view. This is what I was saying before, right? So in this case, fixed expression is still calculating according to the cities in the Hirat state and the country. So what to do? In this case, we need to edit our fixed expression. So here I'm going to edit this. And here all. Is it visible to you now? Okay, so I'm going to add, yes, category here. Okay, so apply this and okay. Now you can see the fixed expression has changed now. Okay, so this is where you can choose between the fixed and include. where to choose fixed. In case of fixed, you make sure you have included all the dimensions that are in the view in your fixed expression. But in case of include, you only need to include additional dimension from the view. I've already have the country, state and category in the view, and additional aggregation that I want to perform is according to the city. Only that is added in my include expression. I'll show you again. Here you can see in include expression just got the additional dimension. Okay. Another difference between fixed and include expression is that fixed expression lie before dimension filters and include expression lie after dimension filters. So fixed expressions do not respond to the dimension filters. However, include and exclude expressions are responsive to the dimension filter. Means if I put any dimension in the filter, so if I select anything in that filter, so those changes will be applied to the values in the include expression, but not to the fixed expression. Okay. Just a minute, I'll show you something. I hope this diagram is visible to you. Here you can see these are the dimension filters. Fixed LODs lie before it. So no changes in dimension filters will be applicable to fixed LODs. However, the changes will be applicable to include and exclude LODs. Okay. So let's demonstrate this. For that, first I'm going to, okay, let's select ship mode. If I select ship mode and put in the filter, I'm going to show the filter now. And now if I'm selecting, like here, what I'm doing is, okay, you need to check this. In case of Kabul, so this is the average include, this is the average of fixed. When I'm selecting the second class, first class, the changes are made to this include expression, but not to the fixed. Fixed expressions are not changing. I know these are disappearing, that might be there is no data for that, but no changes are according to these modes. Okay, so same applies for the exclude. Will you write in the chat box if this is clear to you? Okay, so this was about the include and fixed expression. The next one is exclude. So I'm going to create a new sheet now. Okay, I'm going to first put country in the filter. I'm going to select Australia. Let's create a hierarchy. So here we have created a hierarchy: country, state, and city. I'm going to select country, and then we have state and city. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so here you can see we have got the country, state, and city. So in Australia, all these states and the cities in those states, what I want is, okay, let's color. I'm going to color the cities. What I want is, I want the city to be in the view. I want all these cities to be in the view, but I want to bring state in the aggregation. I want the aggregation should be performed till state. Okay, what are the sum of sales, or what are the average sales in that state? Okay, and so that I'm able to compare that this particular city in Australia, this particular city has achieved how much of sales versus the sales in that particular state. Okay, are you getting it? I want to perform the aggregation. Okay, in the view, exclude means what is that dimension which is in the view, but you want to exclude that dimension for from performing the aggregation. So what happens now is, if I calculate the sum of sales, and suppose if I put in the label. So right now what's going is, here I'm getting the sum of sales in a particular city of Australia, okay, of this particular state in Australia. Okay, so what I want is, I want to maintain this view. I want to see all the cities in this map, but the aggregation that I want to perform is, I want to exclude city from the aggregation. Okay, I want to know what is the sales that this particular city has achieved versus the sales in that particular state, so that I'm able to compare. Okay, so for that we need exclude. What I want to exclude, I want to exclude city from the aggregation. Okay, okay, fine. So let's start with this. For that, I'm going to write an exclude expression, create a calculated field. I'm going to exclude city. So this is a final exclude expression. Good, 9 participants are there. Let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so we were writing the exclude expression in this. So I've already written exclude city. Means from the aggregation, I want to exclude the city. Okay. So this exclude expression, now I'm going to put this in the tooltip. Right? So what has happened right now is, so let's go back to another sheet. Here I'm going to first put country in the filter. Okay, I'll explain what has happened from this. I'm going to put country in the filter, and the country we want is Australia. And now I'm going to select country in the rows. We have got Australia, states, these states. Then we have the city. Okay, cities in Australia. And then I'm going to calculate the sales, sum of sales. And then I'm going to write, I'm going to select exclude city and put it here. Okay. So this is what we have done on that map. So we have got the Australia. Then in that we have all the states displayed. Then we have the cities on the map. You can check. Okay, these are the cities. And okay, these sales are visible. These sales are visible as the labels. The sum of sales in each city is visible as label here. All these labels, please mute your mic. All these sales per city are visible here. So sum of sales in each city are visible. Okay, next is I've written an exclude expression where I have excluded the city from the aggregation. Means I want every city to display the sum of sales in that particular state to which that city belongs. So here you can see New South Wales, we have got the sum of sales as 270, 27487. Okay, and all the cities are displaying that with the exclude expression. Means in my view, I'm having city is there in the view, but aggregation is performed at the state level, at another level, so that we exclude the city. Okay, so let's go back to the sheet, and here you can check. So this was New South Wales. Here I can check the New South Wales, and now you can see 27487 is the sum of sales in that particular state. Now here you can see this is ATTR. ATTR here means that the aggregation has been performed at an upper level. Here in the map I have the finer dimension that I have is city, but the aggregation is performed at the upper level, which is state.
तेरा लाइव लेक्चर नहीं है 11 बजे?
11:15 पे।
फिर जाओ उस पे।
Please mute your mics. Hello. Hello. Manav, mute your mic. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I was explaining. Now what happens is, suppose I want to see the sales in the city and I want to put this attribute in color. I'm putting exclude in color. Okay. So now you can see this darkest sales represent the maximum sales. Okay. Darkest colors represent the maximum sales. Okay. Now suppose I remove state. Okay. I'm going to minimize it. I've removed state. Now you can see here I've got the country, Australia, and cities. I've removed the state, but now you can see I removed the state, means state is not there in the view. All the colors are same, dark. We have got just one color. Now we are not distinguishing between the colors according to the sum of sales. The reason is that is exclude expression changes as according to the participation of the dimensions in the chart. Means if state is participating in my chart, then the aggregation will be performed according to the state. Okay, excluding the city. City will always be excluded. But if state is participating in the chart, then the aggregation will be performed on the state level, excluding the city. So from here you can check if I remove city, if I remove state, the sales I've got is 925236, which are the total sales in Australia. 925236. Now let's go back to sheet. And here, if I bring my cursor over, you can see, check the sales in exclude city. This is 925236 everywhere. 925236 means now exclude expression has excluded the city from the aggregation, and what it has considered is what's in the view. In the view, we just have got the country. Now, if I select state and put back to detail, so now we have got the view back. The sum of sales have changed the color according to the state, as we have added the state, and now aggregation has performed on the state level. Okay, so now let's edit the tooltip so get a better understanding. Here we can write this particular city has sold sum of sales out of states in state. Okay, so we can see Albany has sold these number of products out of this investor in Australia state. Okay, so was this helpful? Next is exclude expression also respond to the dimension filters. If I bring ship mode in the filters, I'm going to show the filter. Please don't do this. Please don't write anything. And now you can see if I'm selecting first class, same day, like these ship modes, the sales are changing according to this dimension filters. Okay, so these also respond. Exclude LOD expressions also respond to the dimension filters. So this was about exclude. Now I hope the difference between include, fixed, and exclude is clear to you now. Please write in the chat box. Yes. Good. Anyone's having doubt can ask regarding these three LOD expressions. Okay, good. So I will provide you the data set. I think you're already having that. I've already provided you in the class. So I'll provide it again. And also I've got some questions for you on the basis of LOD expressions. I hope this concept is clear. This video will be shared. Yes, I'll share this tutorial with you. Okay.